Hello everybody and welcome back to Drumard Farm. So we've got quite a few things to do today. The first thing is to do the bales. We do have another field of bales to do, so we might as well just get it done and out of the way. Then we don't have to touch on the hay bale subject again, although we do have to do some straw bales. However, I'm possibly going to be getting an auto stack of that because we don't really need to keep stacking stuff with a front loader. I think because of the amount of bales we're going to be producing, I can justify buying an auto stacker. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. It won't be an auto stacker which is just like a trailer where it just randomly picks the bales up off the ground. It's actually going to be a proper one which is animated. So let me just put this over here. For those of you thinking, oh no, he's doing bales again, right, I'm going to click off the video. It's okay, this is going to be time-lapsed, so it shouldn't take too long at all. Actually, should I use this? I could do, although maybe the tractor is going to be better still. Yeah, we'll do this. So yeah, we've got our greenhouses over there. Quite a nice addition. Plus we have 99 gold nuggets. We don't have 100 just yet. It'll be very easy to do. We'll get £1 million when we do collect it. It's going to be at the end of the series. If it isn't the end of the series, it's going to be when we're seriously desperate for money, but I doubt it's going to come to that because we do pretty much have every machine we need now, so that would be a fairly unlikely thing that's going to happen. Oh yes, our stack of bales is also horrific. It looks so bad. But we're going to put the rest here as well. I'll go and cap you for this. Make it easier to see. Okay, that's lined up. Good. Let's go. That is everything done here. So it is stacked. It didn't take a massive amount of time and it also wasn't too difficult, although clearly there isn't a great deal of skill here. I mean, you wouldn't want to be following this on the road, but luckily it isn't going down the road. Anyway, this bale grab, obviously it's not the bale grab which we started off with, this bale spike. It is very good. I have seen it before, many people have requested it before as well. It's by Black Sheep Modding. It's available on ModHub, the Giants mod hub, and it is absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend it. It's good because you can stack 4 bales on it. You can do 4 high. Oh, there is a bale on the end there. You may need to have a strap over it. There we go. I tell you what it really would be good for. There is the Quadro pack, which allows you to basically stack bales as you bale, as you go. And yeah, they're about 3 or 4 high, so that would be perfect for that. The bales would already be stacked very neatly, so all you have to do is move them about. Obviously here I've had to stack them from scratch. That is why it isn't very neat. It's also very top heavy. Yes, you really would not want to be following this thing about. We're going to take the shortcut though. We're not going to try and get through the yard. It probably wouldn't even make it. I would likely tip this thing over. So we're going to go through here, if we can do. It's a bit tight. There we go. And I'm not really too concerned about making a very neat job at the other end because all the others have already been messed up anyway. They've all tipped over. So as long as they're in the yard, it's fine. Wow, this is not a good turning. Gotta be very careful. It's actually going dusk. 6 PM. I think the next episode is going to have to be in the morning. We'll try and squeeze as much into the rest of this virtual day as possible. But this yard's quite incredible. It's been converted from just a dirty area, a dirt area, to, well, we've got the greenhouses, we've got the sheds. We can also expand it as well if we want to something else. Haven't really got any plans for anything else. It's just, yeah, the possibility is always there. So, what we're going to do is remove these straps first of all. There we go. Turn the engine off. Let's go and get the tractor. I'll very quickly unload it. Like I say, this is not going to be very impressive. There'll be quite a few bales tipping over and possibly exploding everywhere, but at least they'll be off. They're only going to be fed to the sheep anyway. They're right next door, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah, this is a really good way of going. Can't believe I only discovered it the previous episode. Now you may have noticed also I've got a very big weight on the back. I've got a I think it's 2.2 tons. Or is it 2.3? It's pretty heavy. That's because obviously we need to have a pretty good counterweight for 4 bales and also the weight of the grab itself, which is probably quite heavy. Even though it's only like a frame, it's going to add up. So here goes. Prepare for some fail. An early warning for you. We are of course going to use the extra spikes in there. Oh, come on. Rushing it now. There we go. Okay, maybe in cab view will be better. Telehandler would be better, but the front loader seems to be able to do it okay. You would have thought it would be putting quite a bit of strain on it, but no, seems fine. Previous stack fell over quite clearly. I did say there was going to be some fail. That's the thing, when you've got them 4 high and they're not really stacked correctly, when they're overlapping a bit, it doesn't really take a great deal just to push them. The momentum when you're removing them from the spike just takes it a little bit too far and they go over. Maybe this time it'll be a bit better. Hope for the best. Okay, we've lost the bottom bale. The others can just fall out now. Right, I think that's enough of the bales. There is just one more to get. We're going to have to get it off this way, I suppose. Unless we can push it round, which is unlikely. Yeah, I think that is just way too much bale work for one day. For 1 week actually. We've been doing it for a while. But at least they are now in the shed. That is going to be enough to suffice the entire series. We've got loads of hay bales. In fact, most of them will probably be sold at the end. I don't think we need to use the lorry again today. In fact, we don't really need to use this tractor again today. What we do need to do, I think, is fertilise those fields which we need to join together. Many people have said it before. It is a very good idea. I will of course check the map first just so we're not wasting our time. You can see 3 lime green fields up here. They, I'm pretty sure, need to be fertilised. Yes, they do. Let's hope the fertilising does work. I think it does do. Now, because we haven't ploughed manure into it or anything, mainly because we don't have any, it's going to have to be an artificial fertiliser. It could be a sprayer or a spreader. It doesn't really matter which one. So, I think the new Holland T6 is going to be a good one for this job. Oh yes, we have actually got a mower just here, which I keep forgetting to sell. Let's go and get rid of it. And if we need to buy a fertiliser spreader, we could use the money from this. I don't know if we do. What I'll do is I'll check here. Do we have a sprayer first of all? No. We probably did originally, but I removed it. I would have thought, because we started off with too much stuff. Again, oh we do. We do. Oh yeah, of course we do. Because I already tried to do the other field. Right, that's fine. We'll go up to the farm, which is where I think it is located. We could go out of here if it would open. There's probably something blocking the way. So I'm sort of wondering if Drumard Farm is a better map to be interactive than Sandy Bay. I think it might be. I really do, because there is. I'm not saying that you can do more on Drumard Farm. You can actually do exactly the same amount of stuff. It's the same game at the end of the day. But the thing is, in Sandy Bay, I'm sort of now stuck in a rut because we're doing things that we have to do. I planted maize, so that maize now needs to be harvested. So you can't really request to do anything else. Whereas in Drumard Farm, we could do something else. We've sort of done what we need to do with regards to hay bales, which is feed. We've also got the straw ready for bedding, so that's all good. And I don't really want to keep doing bales, because bales are great, but doing bales in every episode is a little much. So what I'm going to do, providing I remember, is put the interactive vote in this video. And then hopefully for the next episode, we'll be able to choose something of everybody's choice. Stuck behind a really slow car again. Let's get this thing sold anyway. Let's see how much money we can actually get from it. It probably won't be a great deal, but chances are, unless it's already been used, we should get a fairly good price, because obviously, as you know, you get less money for a worn machine. Yes, okay, sort of expected. Now, we don't need to buy anything, which is great. We can just live with the fertiliser spreader we have, which is actually not a bad one. It's not a very big one, but it would do. It would do very nicely. Now, I think we do have 3 fertilising stages enabled, so we're going to have to do this at every single growth stage before it's ready. Which is a bit of a chore, but obviously it's much more realistic this way. Oh, I'm not sitting behind this slow coach. So slow. So this is the farm track for our other farm. We have 2, I think, but we do have plenty of areas on the map which can be converted into other yards if we want to, which is really good. Nice idea. There is my livestock trailer, a very big livestock trailer. I'm guessing I've put it around here somewhere. I would have thought I would have done. However, knowing me, I probably didn't. Oh, I did! Wow! It's amazing. PTO shaft is nicely put away there. Right, so I'm hoping the field hasn't actually germinated yet. That means we don't have to have the row crop tyres. We should be able to get away with these tyres. However, if it has germinated, then we're going to have to buy some extra tyres for one of our tractors, which shouldn't be too hard. We've got quite a few. Obviously not every tractor has the capability of using row crop tyres. I would have thought this one wouldn't do, but who knows, we may be surprised. But let's just hope for the best. Close that. Shouldn't be open. Whoa, that's some speed. Yes, good. So, in theory, we should be okay. I will check the map just to make sure we're not destroying the crop. I'm pretty sure it doesn't destroy it until it starts to germinate, but we are about to find out. So that's a good working width. Trying to stay as straight as possible. I probably could get away with going a little bit further. So I'm sure you can see now that if you didn't suggest that we plough it together, it is a good idea. as we've got these grass strips between each one. Now that is good in some cases. Now I'm not quite sure how the contracting is enabled on this map. It could be because of the contracting, but I'm not too sure about that. But as we own these fields anyway, we always have done, it's not really going to mess anything up, I hope. Now, where can we go? About here? I don't want to leave a line. Yeah, I am. I'm leaving a little line. So it's not the neatest job ever, but it works. While we're here, I will check, and we will see. Yeah, I think... yeah, it's good. Doesn't seem to be destroying anything. Perfect. Oh yeah, still missing a bit. Terrible. How many fields are here? 3. At least we can use our fertiliser. I think what we're going to have to do, as we do have quite a few animals, especially a lot of sheep, is to use muck from them. Now obviously sheep don't really produce the muck that we need. In fact, I don't think you can even pick it up at all. It's just from the pigs and the cows. So at some point, just before we plant the next field, whichever field it may be, we are obviously going to have to use it. We don't want to keep using the artificial fertiliser. It's expensive, and well, it probably is better actually in terms of how effective it is, but obviously it's artificial, so we need to have farmyard manure. I honestly don't know how good it is, but my guess is it is quite effective to use. And this is the final stretch here, and then we're actually done. Again, we have to move on to a different job. So that is fields 4, 5 and 6 completed. Field number 8 needs to be baled, but yeah, bales, I don't think we'll do any today. And field number 7 needs to be replanted. Now we do have a direct drill, which is good. We don't have to cultivate first, which is fantastic. So it may be worth planting that field, but obviously first of all we need to make sure that we haven't got any muck to spread on there, because if we have, we might as well do that first. This can probably stay over here. We don't have enough tractors over here. We've got about 4 tractors over at the other farm. And also another good thing is it doesn't really get through a great deal. So you shouldn't leave fertiliser in the spreaders. It's very corrosive. But, well, as it isn't really animated, I suppose in theory it is, because we've got the maintenance fees. It could be rotting it through quicker, who knows. But it isn't animated at all, so we don't have to empty it. So there we go. That is that job done. So there's the combine harvester, fantastic harvester. This is the MASSEY Ferguson with the seed drill. Let me just check first of all though, make sure we don't have any muck. Right, we have got, yes, not enough at all, nowhere near enough. The wool pallet is filling up very nicely. Quite a bit of milk to sell as well. I'm guessing that is going to be an automatic sale at midnight, I'm not too sure. But everything else except for the straw is looking really healthy. They should do really well. So we are of course going to have to do it with this seeder. Now what crop shall we plant? That is the question. We've done quite a bit of canola, so we don't have to do any more canola. I suppose we could do, but that is a lot of canola. So maybe we should go with something else which you can get straw from, so wheat or barley. Could be good. We've just had soybeans in there, so we don't really want to repeat the same crop. That could be a bad idea. We need to have a bit of a crop rotation. By the way, if you're new to my videos, when it sort of pauses for a second, it's when it's auto-saving. I did consider turning it off, but then it is quite handy. Not so much for power cuts anymore, because I've got a uninterruptible power supply, so if you get a power cut, you get a certain length of time for your computer to stay on so you can save and all that, but you know, I do have computer crashes mainly because I download a lot of mods, loads of them, tons which I've never even shown in my videos before, mainly because they're either private or because they're not really good enough to show. But that is a minority. And because I have so many, there is bound to be one of them which crashes the game. And yes, there are. So it does crash from time to time. So for those of you who are sort of thinking, what do you do when you're not playing Farming Simulator? I do quite a lot of stuff, but my primary job, if you like, is mechanics on horticultural machinery. And I am going to hopefully start doing a few vlogs of that very soon. It won't be for a few weeks, but yeah, I do have quite a few plans. Now, the thing is, I set up Dagwin Extra as an extra channel to this one, so that I could put anything which isn't simulation based onto there. And it's good, it's definitely good, but a few, oh, whoa, I just spun around. A few people got the wrong end of the stick. They seem to think that it's for any game which isn't Farming Simulator, so ETS should go on there, but the thing is, it is for any simulation game. Dagwin, this channel I'm in, is for any simulation game. The extra channel is for anything else, so any game which isn't simulation or any kind of real life stuff. Now if I do turn that channel into mainly real life, I'm going to have to do a few changes, and it probably won't be called Dagwin Extra anymore, because it isn't really, although I am Dagwin still, it isn't really Dagwin Extra, because the Dagwin channel is all about simulation and it's not really about mechanics or real life, so it is a tough one. I don't really know how to go about that the best way. I may have to think of a brand new channel name and then sort of be associated with two different names, but then that could get a bit confusing. I'm not too sure. Dagwin is obviously a pretty good name to have. Most people know me by it now, so I don't know. I could just keep it as Dagwin Extra. It works, and it's obviously hassle-free that way. I don't have to change anything, but at the same time, like I say, it's not really related to what I do on here. But I would love to know your suggestions. It would be really good to hear from you. And as for what kind of content I put on there, I'm going to keep it a secret really. Obviously it's going to be engineering based, but my plan for the future, long term, this is sort of 5 years or something, maybe even more, is to, actually 5 to 10 years I should probably say, is to sort of do a whole series of running a small holding, that kind of thing. I don't have one at the moment, but my lifelong dream is to own one, and if I did own one, then I would sort of do a daily vlog of what is happening. But like I say, I'm sort of in the unrealistic territory here. I'm talking about stuff which I don't even own currently, so that's just what I would love to do. That is my dream, but it may never happen, so I can't get my hopes up, and you probably shouldn't do either. It would be amazing. But for the time being, it is going to be just engineering based, and also I've got Dagwin, this channel itself. This is my biggest channel by a long way, and it is helping me a great deal with stuff. So I really do appreciate everyone's support. Just, you know, dropping by every day and watching a video of mine, so helpful. And it's really nice to know that when I sit down in the evening and record one of these videos, I'm not wasting my time. Like, I'm not just talking to myself. I know that there are fans out there who actually genuinely want to watch these videos, and it really does mean a great deal to me. I don't say it often enough, but it does. It's part of my life now, and I really do appreciate it. So through all that, I realised that I was planting canola, but that's actually not too bad. Obviously I'm not going to get any straw out of it, but we may not need to get any. It always saves when I'm recording. Like, I do jump cuts all the time, so there are times when I'm not recording at all, and it never saves then. It only saves when I start a recording. When I start a new clip. Anyway, this field is almost done already, and really we can fertilise it straight away, even though we probably shouldn't do. It is possible to do that. At least then every field will be at the same stage. So this is the final part of the field, and really, that is actually it for the seeding. There isn't any other fields, I don't think, except for the one next to us which needs to be done, but that is nowhere near ready. So we'll put this away again. It was short-lived, but every job is really, because we've only got small fields. And that is one of the things which is really nice about this map. I don't always like to just do massive fields, although when we get the big bud DLC, we're going to have to do a pretty big map. I have mentioned this before, but obviously a map with notoriously massive fields is going to be great. It probably won't be a massive series because, well, like I said before, I can't really keep a series together when it's got such big fields, as you have to sort of dedicate one episode to every single job. So one episode would just be cultivating that field as it's so massive. I'm using the word massive too much again. I do this from time to time because it's so large, and then you have to dedicate the next episode to just harvesting it, because again, that field is such a vast area that you can't do anything else in that time. It takes maybe an hour, and then I have to condense that down to about 25 minutes. So that's why I've never really done any big series on big maps, because it doesn't really work for a Let's Play. I mean, it's good enough, but you just can't do as many jobs as what I would like to do. For example, what we're doing today, we're doing quite a few jobs, which is nice. Doing one job in an episode is, I wouldn't call it boring, but it's a bit limiting. Right, there we go, that's all good. I tell you something, if you could do engineering in Farming Simulator, like if you could oil change tractors and all that, service it, that would add a brand new avenue to the game, and it could actually really make this game even more popular, because then you're sort of combining mechanic simulators with farming simulators and you're getting the best of both worlds. Just an idea, if anybody from Giants is watching. You probably aren't though. Even though I do know that Giants do watch some of my videos, which is quite nice to know. So, yeah, what else can we do today? I don't know if there's anything else. They need to be tidied up. I was considering putting a front loader on this because you can put a front loader on it. And as I've sort of bought it just for the livestock, it could be handy. But whether or not you can have a front loader with this tipper, I don't know. I doubt it. I really doubt it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. It's getting a bit dusk, and I would like you to vote for the next job. So, once we've picked these eggs up, we'll call it a day. Is it just one egg? When I park a vehicle here, they lay loads of eggs underneath it so I can't get to them. But when there's no vehicle, they lay one. Very generous hens. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye for now.